Hi, and listen to Chris Flood's new single.
Now that's how you bookend a podcast.
It's been a few weeks.
It's been a long time. I'm leaving that in. Yeah, it's Paul and some other people.
Some others.
Me. Him.
Her.
Apologies.
For some of that.
No, well, I can safely say no one here's been drinking.
Only tea. Definitely not Kool-Aid.
No, he plays in the NFL.
Kool-Aid
so.
McKinstry.
Right. We'll start properly.
We'll
Let's just imagine we've done
it.
the intro. Right, okay, Singapore Grand Prix.
Yes.
Just when we thought that the Singapore race couldn't get any quicker than it did last year, it did this year.
Well, it
Was it
felt like
quick?
it was going on forever.
It
at
did
one
feel
point.
like it was going on forever.
It was 30 seconds quicker than last year's equivalent race, which
30
was the
seconds.
fastest ever Singapore Grand Prix without a safety car or a yellow flag then. But we did have yellows this time just because Hulk tried to take a corner twice or something.
Yes, there was that, and there was a couple of other incidents that caused yellows. But generally speaking, I think we were fairly major incident
I was going to
free.
say major incident free. I mean, the first big talking point, though, and we'll do this before we do the teams, the whole papaya rules situation, has that now just been thrown to the wind?
Well, they don't need it now, do they? Because they've got the championship. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's probably time.
You know,
So the papaya rules is basically, as we understand it now, is you can race so long as it's fair. One of them thought it was fair, the other one didn't.
Yeah, in the past it's just you can race but don't hit each other, and now it's you can hit each other but don't hit each other. You know, just hit each other, not hit each other.
I mean, it's a tough one because Lando was in a position where he was either going to wipe out Verstappen or hit Piastri. And I think what happened was the least worst outcome, because if he hadn't checked up, he'd have gone straight into the back of Verstappen and put both of them out.
And potentially Piastri
And potentially
as well. 'cause he was right
Piastri as
behind
well.
them.
Yeah,
I think he
and-
might have tapped Verstappen slightly.
I think
as
he gave him a little nudge, didn't he?
Well, that's what
Yeah.
broke the end plate on
Yes,
his front wing.
yes.
So there was obviously some contact there, and the Piastri one was wheel to wheel side on, which
Yeah.
Oscar was not happy about.
No, and
And
My thoughts exactly.
Yeah. That's what happened with Piastri. It was just a glitch in the matrix.
oh no,
That's what happens when people try and ask me what happened in Abu Dhabi in 2021. Go to the tunnel.
right, Chris Alonso has disconnected his radio.
Lap 34.
Very good.
Are you back with us yet, Chris? I'm going to get a message in
no.
a minute saying I'm in the waiting
It's
room.
gone well. The intro was flawless.
Oh.
The discussion about the first talking point was flawless.
I'll raise a small point to pass the time.
Okay.
I'm
Which
back.
is-
I'm still here.
Hey.
Oh, there we go.
Keep your small point for later.
Oh, you sound just like Jane.
What, you can't get that up a curb either?
Just leave it. Leave all of this in. It's fine.
I have a feeling Paul wasn't planning to take it out.
Don't pull out.
That's what she said.
Whee!
Although, nice Bob Newhart reference, Chris.
Yes, absolutely.
I can't even remember where we were.
Chris, you were about to make a very good point.
Yes.
About Oscar Piastri, I can understand how he was put out by not having a lot of room to exit the corner after the wheel touching. But when you see it on board from Lando's view, it makes a bit of sense. It would have been really stupid if Lando saw that gap and went, "Oh, I better not. That's my teammate." So, yeah, it's you've got to have racing, and sometimes there is a little bit of a knock in racing. If it had put Piastri out, then that's a whole different kettle of fish. But it didn't. So Move on.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't a full-on Senna and Prost or Schumacher trying to put Barrichello into a wall when they were in the same team.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No,
I
there was
think
no intent, was there?
when you only have it from the position of Oscar's onboard, you sit there and go, oh, that's assault. But then the second you look at Lando's, you go, oh, it all adds up. Okay, so he hit Max. He lost the whether the thing's called the car. He lost the car and went sideways into Piastri as a bit of collateral damage. I can understand why Piastri was annoyed. I think at the end of the day, it's probably about how it should have played out.
I think it's possibly as well like a series of sort of small annoyances, isn't it, for Piastri, that there seem to have been a few papaya rules type moments that have not gone his way.
Yeah.
And I
The
think it's
whole
sort of,
the aftermath of the Monza pit stop. And
Yes, yeah. I think it's sort of things that, yes, they're in the rules that they've agreed beforehand, but it always seems to be him that's that loses out because of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think he's had an awkward few races where he hasn't won the last three. Max has won two of them. Russell's won the third. Lando hasn't won any of them, and yet still somehow gradually he's lost out to Lando. I know that we didn't do a post-Azerbaijan Grand Prix podcast, but, you know, that's the worst drive of the season from a driver this season, from Oscar.
Yes,
Didn't qualifying.
I do
start.
apologise for the lack of post-Azerbaijan. I was recovering from a torn ligament in my thumb. Listen to the Patreon to get the full story on that one.
Very nice. There we go. But yeah, that just he binned it, and that was that. You know, that was a very bad drive. That's his fault. But it's starting to feel like he's not completely at one with the team, and Lando's not completely at one with himself, and the team are struggling with both elements.
Yeah, did I see right that when they had the Constructors' Championship celebration on the podium post-race, Oscar wasn't there?
No, he wasn't.
He was doing his pen interviews, wasn't he? And there's probably two sides to that as well, isn't there? That after you finish the race, pretty much once you're out the car and you've weighed, you go straight to the pen, unless you're the top three. The top three do all the malarkey where they stand around, try not to be too friendly with one another, and then go up and do the podium and all that. I'm guessing that because Lando was still up there on the podium with his pink hat and everything, the team were up there ready and waiting to do the photo, and Oscar just went on what he normally did and just went straight to the paddock.
Yeah.
That said, he also disconnected his radio when he came into the pit lane, when Zach was going... I can't remember what the exact quote was.
They've been talking to him every lap.
Yeah, no, they said congrats. Zach was in the middle of congratulating Oscar on back-to-back championships and trying to say that it wasn't an easy day, and Oscar just unplugged his radio halfway through Zach talking.
Yeah. I mean, they've had their entire year to say, when we win the Constructors, up to the podium we go, so it's not really an excuse. But they could have at that point turned around to Oscar and went, don't worry about the pen. We'll do the pen after. Come up and we'll get the team photo. But no. They did get the team photo later on. During Ted's notebook, they did do that. And there's a slightly awkward bit where they're doing the, I don't know, YouTube video, is it? Or social medias where they have to discuss the race, the two drivers and Andrea Stella. And Oscar couldn't want to be anywhere less than there. Miserable he was.
As I put it yesterday, like a goth at a you can only wear day glow party. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of the season plays out for McLaren now, because if they are going to be racing and fighting each other for the Drivers' Championship, so I think we can now discount Max from being in for that. I think it's going to come down to Oscar or Lando.
Yeah, he's not completely out of it, but yeah, it is going to be a McLaren driver, isn't it?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, he needs snookers, basically.
I don't know if he's quite there yet. I don't know. I think Max needs snookers. I think Lando needs to pick up his game a tiny bit.
mean, we've got what was it, seven or eight races left?
I mean, there is now an increased chance of McLarens driving into each other, which could help Max with his snookers.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, was it Steve Davis that came up with the extra ball in snooker, and it was actually an orange one?
What? Is this for one which is worth like 15 points or something?
Yeah, it was
This I am
something. It was
not
something.
familiar with
It was
at all.
something stupid like that. It was called Ultra Snooker or something. And
Wow.
yeah, there was an extra ball which was an orange, apparently. But with my colour blindness, I can't tell the difference between orange and pink. So I was screwed for watching it.
Former world champion Peter Ebdon also had colour blindness and routinely would have to ask the ref if I think it was the brown and the pink were too close to each other.
Oh dear.
The struggle is real. I mean, when I found out I was colourblind, it hit me like a bolt out of the grey.
Hey.
But well, yeah, I mean, them two running into each other may assist Max in his quest for a fifth championship, but I think realistically we can say that it's going to go to one of the McLaren drivers. And is it going to come down to who's got the biggest elbows? Are we going to have another Senna and Prost situation where it could come down to one of them taking the other one out at the last race of the season to claim the title?
I hope not.
I don't think
Lando's got that in him.
I don't think either of them would do a deliberate. I think they would both at this point be prepared to go for a closing gap that maybe they wouldn't previously. I think it's getting to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we could see one or both of them driving a bit more like Max, where it's a case of I can see a gap. I am going to put the car there. It's down to you whether we both go off or you give me the space.
Yeah, I think that we're going to see maybe a slightly ruder Lando and Oscar from now. Lando at one point during that race went, we've got a bit of a threat from Leclerc behind to Piastri. Shall we pit him first? It's down to you. And he went, yeah, okay. Wait, no, don't do that.
And look at what happened.
Yeah.
There was another bad McLaren pit stop.
It's always the second stop.
Pit stop. They're like their wheel guns are only good for one use or something. It's wild.
Yeah, they both are going to grow a very big pair in the coming races, I think, against one another. And that might be how Max just walks into the World Championship. It's very highly possible that that's how Max does it. The old 2007.
I was going to say it's 2007 all over again. Just the part of Ferrari this year is being played by Red Bull because Ferrari are too busy being Ferrari. Right, shall we go team by team?
Yes.
Yes.
Right, we'll start at the back with Sauber. Bortoletto in 17th and Hulk in 20th. It was getting a bit scrappy between the Saubers and I think Tsunoda and Gasly. Colapinto at one point.
Bortoletto had to come in very early on, didn't he? Because he
Ocon,
dinged his front wing. So I can't
Yeah,
remember who it was he
Bortoletto,
tripped over.
That one turn one, it was Hadjar and somebody else, was it?
I think so,
decided that his front wing was not necessary.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Bortoletto came in lap 13.
Yeah. I think he tried to sort of carry on with it, was like, nah.
Same lap as Yuki, actually.
Oh, yes, because there was a loose tyre, wasn't there? Was it? Did the Sauber crew lose one of the tyres while they were doing the Bortoletto stop?
Yeah, almost rolled into the fast lane.
Yeah, as Sonoda's trundling
into Yuki Tsunoda, yeah.
I'd forgotten about that.
I thought they had somebody to take away the old wheel, as well as so someone puts on. The wheelman does his thing, or wheel person does his thing.
The person who takes it off then runs away with it, usually, don't they?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Usually what happens,
not this time.
Unless they were preparing for a double stack.
Or would maybe with them doing a front wing change?
Yes,
would they
and
have
that's
had
it. That's what happened.
A couple of people busy with that instead of doing tyres?
Exactly that. The people who normally would hold the tyres, I can't remember where this explained, might have been the race, were too busy changing the front wing. And the bloke who put it down basically dropped it at the last moment, which created a bounce, which brought it back up onto its side. And the rear jackman had to run around and get it. No one else, everyone next to the tyre couldn't be fucked.
Like, oh, look at that.
The jackman had to go, oh, so I'm doing this, am I? All right, hold this, the car.
I mean, from what I know of the rules for things like that happen in NASCAR, which seems to happen practically every week, the crew chief usually gets a one race ban if there's a loose tyre at any point.
Oh dear.
Nobody wants that.
I've not heard.
These are different sports, different rules.
Yeah, I've not heard anything, but it wouldn't surprise me if.
There'll be a finger wagging and a fine.
Yeah, Sauber get hit with a team reprimand and a fine or something for that. But yeah, pit stops go. And one thing that I did notice on the Bortoletto stop was the guy. Well, I think it was the wheel gun guy. It happened pretty quickly, but seemed to spray something like WD-40 on the wheel nut before the gun went on.
I didn't spot that.
Maybe something for McLaren to think about.
But yeah, they didn't have actually any problems getting the tyre off. It was just later on with the tyre.
Given
Was
that
it last year?
early
with
20,
Bottas?
early 24 that Sauber had all of the problems, didn't they? With
maybe that's something they've
pit stop.
just factored into their pit stops now.
Yeah, it was the way that last year Sauber were having like the 10, 12-second pit stops, and they said, we should have a solution in place for after the summer break. Yeah, it's like, hang on a fucking minute, we're only in Saudi Arabia. But Bottas always gets the bad pit stops. He does still hold the record for the longest tyre change of 48 hours.
Yeah.
Right. Where are we going next? Probably I would say Alpine. Gasly in 19th and Colapinto not in a wall.
I mean, second to last for Alpine in the standings is, I would say, a result given how that weekend went.
I don't remember them at all, really, during the race.
Gasly during qualifying went off.
Oh yeah, he threw a bit of a wobbler, didn't he? He said about the settings. I told you not to change the settings or something, and then overnight they had to go back to what they were running on Friday. So he started from the pit lane with one of the Williamses. Yeah, so Gasly had a terrible weekend.
Colapinto had a fantastic start. He went up. He did this last year at Singapore. He breaks last and just overtakes 3 people into turn 1. This is where Albon got very annoyed.
Yes, when we thought he was brilliant before he started crashing.
Yeah, yes, those heady
Brazil
hours.
Yeah. Brazil when they brought the car back in a skip.
Yeah, both times.
Yeah, they just didn't do much. You know,
It's been a poor season, hasn't it, for Alpine? Like, it just seems like they're expecting this Mercedes engine switch next year and 2026 rule reset to be like, that's just what they're waiting for. They're just cruising until they get this rule reset. But what if it's shit next year? Are they actually working on stuff, or are they just cruising and they're hoping that the rule reset just doesn't have them last?
I mean, in more positive news for them, Flavio's probably got a fit young girlfriend.
News? News. More interesting. Positive, maybe. News, questionable.
But how can we know? Because the Wags didn't get any screen time, did they?
Oh, my.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
good
no.
point.
God.
Yeah,
We didn't see any. Yeah, we didn't see anyone's part. I mean, I've totally forgotten what Rebecca Donaldson looks like.
She
Thanks,
seemed to be the
Singapore.
director's favourite, didn't she? There were a few others who got quite a bit of screen time.
I mean, at one point they showed the CEO of Racing Bulls, and I thought, fuck me, who's he dating? Yeah.
Alpine have not had a great week in general. Last year, it was announced that because they only finished 6th or 7th in the Constructors last year? I want to say they rescued 6.
I think they did with that result in Brazil.
Yes.
Yeah. They lost 14.9 million euros last year. That was their net loss. where every other Formula One team made a profit last year. And that's for finishing 6th. This year, I can only assume they're just going to get, a debt check, which just, it's an image of a man wielding a crowbar.
I mean, don't forget they're going to be spending less because they won't have spent anything on next season's engine development. You've got to imagine that buying the engine in from Mercedes is going to be cheaper than developing their own.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, they've been quite harsh, haven't they? I mean, obviously, Viry Chatillon has been building Renault engines for many, many years, even when they, legally speaking, weren't Renault engines. But now they're saying, well, we know it's in-house, but now that we've been in them off, we just want to say we think they're building terrible engines. Like, well, no, that's not really the case, is it? Because it's not that long ago, really, in the grand scheme of things, that, Renault were a decent engine supplier, supplying Red Bull, for example, before Honda came along. So, it's... I understand it from a business point of view, but at the same time, I think it's a real shame that they're outsourcing their engines, given that they're supposed to be a manufacturer.
I think one of the problems, though, when they were supplying Red Bull is that Red Bull were better than them. And it's like, how is this team getting more out of your product than you?
But then the turbo hybrid era started, and the Renault engines weren't as good as the V8s.
No, but still, whatever Red Bull were doing with them was better than whatever Enstone was doing with them.
Adrian Newey.
Yes, that's probably a factor.
But, I mean, the whole war between Horner and Cyril, well, it did make for good viewing.
When you could understand Cyril. I mean, his English is much better than my French, but I mean, I think.
Sorry, I nearly swallowed my microphone. Then that may mean a trip to A&E.
There's a character on Duolingo who has
Didn't she headline Glastonbury this year?
Hey, the character has an almost offensively French accent, and Jane's doing French at the moment on Duolingo. And every occasion you'll walk into the bedroom and she'll be sat on the bed doing that, and you just hear. And I sometimes do the mock accent, and she calls me 2 things: A, racist, and B, Cyril a beatball.
Now, wait a minute. So... But yeah, the Cyril Christian thing was fun. And when Renault switched to becoming Alpine, because Alpine is their like sports division, and then for some reason in road cars they were like, so Alpine are not going to make any more petrol-driven vehicles. Like, okay, that's interesting. So what are they going to do with the Formula One team? Just like, well, we're just going to make sure no engines are built by anybody near this company ever whatsoever again, and instead we're going to get them from Mercedes.
But yet they're making the WEC engines. I think that they won in the 6 Hours of Fuji as well, didn't they?
They did in the hypercar.
Yeah.
So are they Renault engined?
The whole thing is Alpine. So yes.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe Viry Chatillon is going to build their engines. I have no idea.
Yeah, I think they're going to end up concentrating on the hypercar class, and probably
Are they still planning to do hydrogen at some point in WEC?
I think they're going to wait and see how Extreme H works out, which is the new Extreme E.
Yeah.
Oh my! Have they rebranded that?
Extreme hydrogen.
Yeah, it's going to be hydrogen-powered off-roaders. I think this is why Extreme E has completely disappeared. Not that we noticed anyway, because
It has to exist to disappear. Too easy, too simple.
But yeah, I think the Renault engine factory is going to carry on with their hypercar project, because that appears to be coming together. And if WEC are even expanding that further, or other series are, possibly IMSA, with customer hypercars, then there could be a market for selling them there. I think it's just Formula One that they're giving up on.
The engine in the Alpine hypercar appears to be badged as a Mechachrome.
Oh no!
And we all know who's in charge of Mechachrome, don't we?
Flavio Briatore.
Yep.
Oh dear. It's very well washed.
Yeah.
Shall I say?
Yeah. Well, Mechachrome are like what Cosworth was to Ford.
And the hybrid motor, the electric motor, is supplied by Bosch.
I think they are for most of
I
most of the
imagine,
WEC
yes.
grid, and my bike.
But to the best of my knowledge, Bosch has no ties to Flavio.
Yet. We really talked about Alpine too much for how anonymous and dull they were this week.
Yeah, they did sod all.
Yeah.
Colapinto at one point looked semi-decent, but not points decent.
So 14th decent, but then he finished 16th.
They are finishing last in the constructors and by a distance. I don't think even a Brazil-like performance now from last year is going to save them. They're 24 points off the next team.
Well, the Brazil-like performance from Colapinto definitely won't save him.
Good point. Yeah, he's not getting a podium. What am I on about?
Bring your own skip. Right, RB. Disappointing result, really, for him, I think. Because, Lawson got into Q3.
How? Because he was terrible in practice.
He wasn't much better in the race.
Yeah,
Too
given
big.
where they've been lately, it's a fairly poor result, isn't it, for RB?
Yeah, Hadjar did have engine problems.
Yeah, that was a shame, actually, because I think he was going quite well until that point, wasn't he?
Yeah, that battle that he had with Alonso was really good wheel-to-wheel
You mean he's
racing.
like hero of race, Alonso?
Hero of race.
He's a trophy for the hero of the race, which he actually got at the end, surprisingly enough.
Wow. Although Hadjar did describe Fernando as being grumpy.
Yeah, fair. I
I
mean,
think
some
he's-
of his other team radio would back that up.
Yeah, he stopped short of old man yells at cloud, but you could tell the intent was there.
Have we seen the overtake on Alonso on Hadjar? Because I've only seen the in-helmet cam, and it's a stonker. It's at the hairpin after the bridge.
I don't know if I've seen the in-helmet one.
Oh, and Alonso,
I've not
Alonso
seen
just
it off-board.
Alonso just flies up the inside. I think
and nearly hits a Williams.
Yeah, I think due to iffy TV direction, oh, what a fucking surprise again. we didn't actually get to see it properly. But yeah, Lawson had a good Saturday afternoon and 4 other completely and utterly pointless sessions.
Yeah, not great. And then he goal hung for a pit stop, didn't he?
Yeah, he was one of those that just was started on
For a
mediums and then
safety
appeared to go until the year 2090.
Yeah, but I think it was Lawson and Sainz that were both trying to do that. It worked for Sainz, even though there wasn't a safety car, but we will get to Williams shortly. But yeah, it's a weekend in reverse for RB this time round. You know, after previous highs, and now that decision about who's going to be in the car next year is going to that's going to drag, isn't it? We've got more or less a full grid for next season, and we're still doing silly season things, thanks to Red Bull.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's another RB story which came out earlier on in the week. It's not an RB story. It's actually an F2 and McLaren and Alex Dunn story. And it's very much the end of Alex Dunn as a McLaren driver in F2. It doesn't mean he's that's it, all funding's pulled. He will stay at Rodin for this season in F2. But that seems to be the end of his McLaren association, which is being talked about as a potential start of a Helmut Marko situation.
There was also an Alpine rumour for him, but that seems to have now been superseded by the Red Bull Junior.
I think the reasons behind this isn't down to his crashiness. I think it's a case of McLaren have got two young, successful drivers.
There's nowhere for him to go.
Yeah, there's nowhere for him to go except Indy, and he may not want to do Indy.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, moving on is the only real option.
They've elapsed the Formula E team, haven't they?
Yeah, I think that's done now as of the end of last season. I don't know if anyone's taken it on, but yeah, it just seems that they're concentrating, or certainly from the factory, concentrating on F1 and IndyCar. And for a young driver on the McLaren program, that's, it's everything's closed off. It's like young Red Bull drivers.
It probably suits both of them, doesn't it, that he's moved out of that sort of setup, because he did his FP1, didn't he, and was fine.
Yeah, brought the car back in one piece.
Yeah.
Which you can't say that he does every Saturday and Sunday morning.
No.
No, very much not.
But yeah, I think it's a good move for him if he goes to Red Bull, potentially, but bad, is moving to Red Bull good for anyone that isn't Max?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Strange one. I think we're almost certain, isn't it, that Hadjar's going to be in that car next year, and somebody else, Lidblad, and do we think Dunn? I don't know.
Did Crofty at one point during the race say that if rumours are to be believed, Hadjar will be in the car in Austin? Or did I mishear that?
I heard something about that. And
But I don't know what exactly he was trying to imply.
yeah, it was another swap with Yuki.
But then that's Red Bull up to their maximum limit of drivers, then, isn't it?
Yeah.
They would have used Verstappen, Lawson, Tsunoda, and Hadjar in one season, and RB will have used 3.
Yeah, 3.
Tsunoda, Lawson, and the other one, Hadjar.
Yeah.
But Helmut
Well,
Marko keeps saying, they can decide which one of the cars the driver goes in at any given time.
Yeah, I have a funny feeling, and I'm basing this on absolutely nothing. I just have a gut feeling that if Hadjar goes to Red Bull, he might do all right.
Yeah, he has done well, hasn't he, Hadjar? He does seem to have settled in very well.
But didn't we think that about Yuki?
Yeah, but Yuki
Not
has
necessarily. We didn't think that he was going to have the opportunity to do it. Yeah, Yuki was very short notice, wasn't it?
You look at who you're comparing Hadjar to as well. Yuki has a lot more experience than him, and Hadjar seemed to be doing quite well against him. And Lawson, yes, he's a rookie, but has quite a bit more experience than Hadjar, and yet he's absolutely wiping the floor with Lawson.
No, the thing is, though, Lawson, I think, is completely and utterly broken after he's been dicked about.
Yeah. I don't think Hadjar's going to do anything too special in the Red Bull. I don't know. I'm just going off recent stats of not Max in the Red Bull. And I do think now we're at the point with helmet, a Christian Horner-less helmet. What a sentence.
Hornerless helmet.
Yeah, that cost him a lot of money earlier on in the year. Well, actually, it didn't. It got him a lot of money. Anyway, right, move on, Kieran. I think that now that Horner's gone, Horner seemed to be the champion for Lindblad. Lindblad has had, I think, what we can quite confidently say, a couple of stinkers in F2 recently. I think we're now at the point where, if it is indeed the case that Alex Dunn goes into the the RB fold into the junior program, he will be the next one up and not Lindblad. And Helmut Marko is just going to try young driver after young driver after young driver until they find the equivalent of Max Verstappen.
Has Alex Dunn actually been any less crashy than Lindblad, though?
No, I think he's on he's on course for the Gene Simmons Award for the F2 season of being fast and interesting, but also a prick. He's
Championship
he's very
contender on the verge of a race ban.
unreliable, absolutely. But I think that he's got a bit of Max in him, in the fact that he's not afraid to be a bit shovey, and he will try and get his way by any means necessary. Or that's what I've seen from this year's F2 so far. So if they're going to go for those sorts of drivers, who in F2 is like that? Alex Dunn. That's sort of it.
Yeah.
So they're just going to try the more pushy drivers, I think. Especially if Max goes to Mercedes in 2027, then they're in trouble. Then they're gonna, regardless of how good Hajar is next to Max next year, they can't ditch him, because if they lose Max in 2027, then spin the wheel of the Red Bull driver program. Let's see who's up next. Pepe Marti, Oliver Gerfer. We're just going to bring along people who might be as good as Max Verstappen, but what they're not learning is Max Verstappen is a marvel.
The fact that he can get into just about any car and win without even trying, as he proved at the Nürburgring last week.
Yeah.
You know, he had to do He had to do the GT4 test with a certain number of laps. He was racing for 2 teams in one race. He was going to get out of one car and then jump into another, but the race got curtailed, and the stewards and the series officials just went, "Yeah, we believe you. You're good enough. You can do it." And then got into a GT3 and completely demolished the entire field and won by I think it was about 25 seconds. Something.
Yeah. Well,
that he
Flood,
won
when
by.
you sent the message to the group saying, "Hey, Max is quite good in GT," I thought you'd be like, 30 car field, he's in the top 10. No, he appears to be winning by nearly a minute.
Yeah, he was about a minute in front when I sent that message. He did have a teammate, of course. He didn't do all the driving himself. This is much like when Hulkenberg won the 24 Hours of Le Mans all by himself.
Did it? Was Hulk in the 24 Hours of Le Mans? I don't think he'd ever mentioned that.
I also don't think he ever mentioned that we got a podium at some point as well in Formula One.
Until I see a fully operating metal trophy, I won't believe it.
Anyone can build their own out of Lego. Yeah. The question over Max's future, though, is which team could he go to that will let him do his other things? Because
Aston Martin.
Well, I don't know, because Fernando doesn't appear to have had any interest in Indy or Le Mans since he went to Aston Martin.
Are you trying to tell me that if Fernando retires at the end of 2026, that Lawrence Stroll isn't going to cough up the billions to sign Max Verstappen?
Is also Alonso not just still in a huff from the time he didn't qualify for the Indy 500?
That would probably still be a thing, yes.
Because I don't think he's tried since then.
No, that was his last attempt, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Although he does Dakar every year, doesn't he now?
Does he?
So I think this was a question on Andrew Benson's BBC page, possibly this week, maybe the previous week. Who out of the current still alive and still active driver crop is in contention for the Triple Crown?
Juan Pablo Montoya.
Yeah.
Yes, it is Juan Pablo Montoya, Indy 500 winner, Monaco Grand Prix winner, hasn't won Le Mans yet.
I think does still do it occasionally, doesn't he? He's certainly in the last few years has done LMP2.
Yeah. Can you imagine an overall Le Mans win for Juan Pablo Montoya?
Oh,
Love it.
Montoya gets the Triple Crown.
Ferrari AF Corsa, if you are listening to this show, just sign in for one race.
I think we should enter Robert Kubica in the Indy 500. It's his good arm left.
But he's then still got to get a Monaco, hasn't he?
Yeah, he didn't win at Monaco, did he?
Yep, that's a shitter.
Yeah.
Maybe he can win Formula E at Monaco.
I was surprised to read that, but it is Juan Pablo Montoya who is possibly the closest to getting it done.
Robert Kubica did win a race on a circuit with a very tight hairpin with a casino next to it.
That's not the same. I mean, it could be Hulkenberg. He's a third of the way there. He knows how to do a podium now. He could win Monaco next year. You don't know.
We don't know what Audi's going to be like.
I can't believe I just went, no, he's too safe to drive IndyCar without thinking, wait, he ain't winning the fucking Monaco Grand Prix. That's not happening.
Who knows what Audi are bringing?
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
Oh, God, Bortoletto World Champion 26.
Well, mainly because they haven't actually settled on what the engine regulations are. I don't think Audi know what they're bringing yet. Right, where's next?
Oh, it could be Marcus Ericsson.
He's going to Dale Coyne.
Yeah, but he's got the Indy 500 win.
And I still don't know.
He's only 1/3 of the way there, though.
He is a third of the way there.
And I don't know which of the other 2/3 is less likely, but they're both pretty slim, I'd say.
Technically young enough he could make it back to F1.
Everybody's main Marcus Ericsson memory from Monaco was him putting Felipe Nasser into a wall.
Genuinely this time, not like a Grosjean, he put me in a wall situation.
Yeah, genuinely putting him in a wall when they were both in the same team.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. At the Rascas, if I remember correctly.
Yes, I think it was, aka the Schumacher parking spot.
Yes.
Right, Williams. Starting at the back and in the pits due to a slight technical issue in qualifying where, what was it, the DRS gap was too big when it was closed.
I think so, yes. Yeah, something like that. It passed their own tests, but then not the FIA's tests, which means they probably need to have a look again at their own test.
Sorry,
I'm done
Sean.
now.
I'm
done. It's okay.
I'm very sorry. Did anybody watch Ted's notebook where he explained how they measure the DRS gap?
Don't they just
Yes.
shove a little bit of metal through it?
No, it's a plastic ball on the end of a stick.
Yeah,
And the ball is the perfect diameter. If the ball goes through the gap,
clearly it fucking isn't, is it?
If the ball goes through the gap, you're in trouble.
I think,
but if
it's sort of it's a portmanteau of both your answers because I think it's a ball on a metal stick, but it is ridiculous that they have got exactly 85 millimeters, the size of the ball to the exact width.
So have Williams potentially poked it too hard and widened the gap before it's gone for its FIA test?
Or their ball's too big?
Or their ball's too big, yeah.
Maybe in the heat of Singapore, their balls swelled.
There could have been some swelling in the heat. That's a fair point. The FIA keep their balls in the fridge, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, warm day, loose boxers. My God, they're bashing against me knees.
Oh dear. Have you got to the? Sorry to say this. Have you got to the age yet where you've sat on them by accident?
Yes. Yes.
Every time I get into a car with bucket seats and loose boxers, there is always a trapping incident.
Oh,
this is why jock straps are a thing. But the worst one is, and sorry, Sean, to put these images in your brain. The worst one is,
welcome to Boys Club.
You know when you sit down and you want to be a bit, polite. You don't want to man spread, should we say? So you sit down, and as you sit down, you realise that one, maybe both, have been caught behind the gap before you sat down, and they just pop up through the gap as you sit. Because that is potentially worse than sitting on them. And it's like, oh! And it was like, you okay? It's like, yeah, this is me back.
Do not look down there.
Definitely my back. Just give me a minute.
And that is why Williams struggled.
I don't think that's the specific reason.
But they rescued it. They bloody rescued it.
Yeah, I mean...
They got a point, didn't they? Sainz got a point by goal hanging for the safety car, I think they said on the commentary.
Yeah,
but he did what Stroll couldn't do.
Yeah, 9,000 laps on a set of medium tyres.
Yeah. He only had 18 laps. No, not that. 52, 20, 10 laps to overtake 5 cars, and he did it. Yeah. Well done.
Yep. Smooth
Yes,
operator again.
absolutely. Yeah.
Although I don't think we got to hear it post-race this time. Yeah, I think Albon was pretty much hamstrung from the start, and he just got caught up in all the slower traffic in front of him. I think he ended up, what was it, something like 0.8 of a second behind Stroll at the end.
Yeah.
So, you know, he was in that whole sort of non-entity battle at the back.
He got a reprimand before the race even started. Albon got a reprimand because he drove down the pit lane ready to do the formation lap. Gasly didn't go. Gasly parked his car at the end of the pit lane. He wasn't going to do the formation lap. Albon overtook Gasly so that he could do the formation lap himself, and he got done for overtaking on the formation lap. Which is an incredible penalty. He only gets a driving reprimand.
So because Gasly happened to get out the garage first by the letter of the law, Albon doesn't get to do the formation lap even if he wants to.
Seemingly so. It's a rule they're going to have to look at. I think he was actually done for overtaking in the slow lane because Singapore's so narrow that you can't overtake him. There's no. It's not wide enough.
Yeah.
You know, so he had to go and do it in the slow lane. But yeah, impressive to get done for an illegal move on not even lap 0, because you haven't even crossed the line to start lap 0. God. Lap -1.
This, of course, now leaves it wide open to any team that is going to have a car starting from the pit lane, get them out first before the formation lap,
and just park.
Just park it.
Yeah, sideways preferably.
I'm just thinking that through. Strategically, they could have done something differently there, because obviously there would have been enough fuel to do the formation lap and obviously then start at the end of the pit lane. But he's got to wait for the green light to go at the end of the pit lane anyway. So if he hadn't overtaken Gasly and sat there and just thought, well, I'm going to get in trouble if I overtake Gasly here and do the formation lap. Okay, his car might not have been prepared, but he would have had 1 lap's extra fuel that he could have burnt through during the race. So he could have used that as a performance advantage, possibly.
Yeah,
I don't know how that would have... Yeah. But he...
You might remember from the formation lap, they showed a very long shot of Gasly waiting at the red light at the end of the pit lane.
I do, yes.
I said to Jane at the time, he hasn't gone out. He's missed the green light. Albon's got out, but somehow Gasly's missed it. No, he was just parking there. That was him ready to start the race.
Yeah, because
with 3-minute cold tyres.
Yeah, because they've changed the regulations now that pit lane starters can do the formation lap and peel into the pit lane as everyone's gridding up.
Yeah. Just you get some lovely warm tyres at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just seems iffy from Alpine and putting Albon in an impossible position. And Alpine dictating what Williams can or can't do.
It probably wasn't necessarily their intent that they thought, let's get out and park in front of Albon. But
who's in charge of Alpine?
True, well, that is true. But
yeah.
Yeah, they were probably just doing their thing. And yeah.
Yeah. It's not Singapore, not famously a track known for that, though.
That's true, yes.
No. Italian team bosses would never do anything dodgy there.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, shall we do Haas before the lawsuit?
Yes.
Yeah. Decent 9th place for Behrman and an 18th, and where the bloody hell was he for Ocon?
Yeah. Odd race.
That was all done in qualifying, wasn't it? I think for both of them. So Behrman really good, but Ocon not so good, which was the hangover from their Saturday.
Ocon was angry in qualifying. I can't remember why.
Did he think someone had blocked him?
I mean, not as angry as Max was in qualifying because there was another car within 3 miles of him on the track. But
There's nothing to do with anything about that. That's a non-event at all.
no, I do remember Ocon being mardy about something, but I couldn't actually tell
Did
you
his
what.
seatbelt come undone?
Yeah, I think
Did
it
he?
did. Yeah,
Did he?
yeah.
qualifying or was that the race?
I thought that was.
I think it was
qualifying,
wasn't it?
I think, did he miss a run because he had to come in to get his belt tightened?
Yes, he did.
That could have been it. And I think that was the most thrilling thing that he did all weekend. Seriously,
Yeah, I remember nothing else.
Yeah, I'm nominating him for a participation award this weekend because I can't remember a thing. I think we hardly saw him on TV. But yeah, Behrman, solid first full season.
Was it his best qualifying? Did they say, or best qualifying of the season?
Yes, because he was
Behrman's best qualifying. Yeah, I think it equaled his best.
Yeah, because he was higher than 11th. But yeah, he's got a decent future ahead of him, depending on how things go with Ferrari. Which,
Yeah, absolutely.
you know, we're looking at the distinct possibilities of things going well or going badly because it's Ferrari, and you never know. Are we doing them next? No, we're doing Aston Martin next. Alonso, radio of the race.
But
twice.
which one? There was
Yeah.
3, was there not?
All of them.
Yeah.
All of them were amazing.
There was-
the one that
Oh.
wasn't broadcast
Yeah,
was
there was the
perhaps
laps 34 or
favourite.
34 laps left. Fantastic. Then threatening to turn the radio off. Yes. There was the hero of race one, and then there was the
Yep.
sweary one.
Has anyone
well-
got the sweary one up? I could
can
try
find
and live
the sweary
bleep it.
one very quickly. I know.
Let's
We
see
don't
if
need
we
to
can live.
it.
Oh, okay.
I swear on this podcast all the time.
I was gonna say, we
No
don't
one
just
need
ever
thought it'd be a
You
fun
don't need to
game.
bleep it, but yeah, I have the sweary one. If we want me to read the sweary one, so this was.
Why not?
I assume this would have been when he was catching Hamilton in the closing
This was
stages.
this was as he crossed the line.
So he says, "Oh fucking hell, man! I cannot believe it! I cannot fucking believe it! I cannot fucking believe it! I mean, I cannot fucking believe it! I cannot fucking believe it! Is it safe to drive with no brakes?"
No, I missed it. Do it again.
Best episode of One Foot in the Grave yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he
Well,
wanted a
so-
trophy for hero of the race, and he got one because he ended up being driver of the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
If anyone's got any contact details for Richard Wilson, can they get him to record that in the Victor Meldrew
Well-
voice, please?
Lewis Hamilton. Have a look at his Instagram story because he has shared the snip of the radio, and someone at Team Lewis Hamilton Marketing has put a compilation of clips of Richard Wilson behind it.
Oh, that is genius.
Oh yeah, and he's titled it 18
Yes.
years of.
Yeah. 18 years of moaning from Alonso is what I'm guessing he's going to play at.
Yeah, I think so. So he got the joke too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that is fantastic. That makes up for having Stroll as his teammate.
Don't speak too soon.
Stroll is his teammate for now. Fuck it. What is the point of Lance Stroll right now? We got to see his family in the garage. Woo.
And they were also like, what the fuck is going on? Because why was Lance Stroll out there on softs for like 7 years?
Yes. So what I've realised with Stroll now is that if he's out in Q1, Aston Martin only have one tactic, which is pray for chaos. They can't.
And hope he's not the
Now-
one causing it.
Yeah. They can't genuinely strategize him into a good race position. In Italy, they left him out forever to try and get him some points. It didn't work. He appeared on the penultimate lap. In Azerbaijan, he was out in Q2, so they tried to normally strategize him. Didn't work out. This time round, He was out in Q1. He qualified 17th, started 15th, I want to say. It might have been 16th, started 14th because of the Williams. And they couldn't come up with a strategy for him. So they just went, sod it, go hang for a probable safety car, which never came. The only thing that Aston Martin now can do with Stroll...
Either that, or they just forgot that he hadn't binned it.
Yeah. Yeah, what are you doing here? But if you look at his points finishes for this year, I have opened the 2025 Formula One World Championship, good, on Wikipedia, so let's see how this goes. Stroll, 6 in Australia. We know what happened there. 9th in Canada. I can't remember it. That might have been valid. Then Great Britain, 7th. We know what happened there. Hungary, 7th. We know what happened there. Netherlands, 7th. Decent drive. But that's it. That's all he has is do something crazy and hope that he gets into the points. And that is why only this weekend at round 18 of the season was he overtaken by Fernando Alonso in the championship. Also, Alonso's had, I bulldozed a mirror factory luck as well.
Yeah. Alonso went 8 races without scoring a point, though, didn't he?
Yeah, his first point score, according to this, was Spain. Round 9, yeah.
Yeah, Alonso. Yeah. Fernando, box and retire the car. We didn't use the right push rods. We actually put twiglets in by mistake.
Yeah. But this is going to flatter Lance's season because there's no way. I'm looking at who's beneath him. Ocon, better than Lance Stroll this season. That 5th in Canada alone, better than Lance Stroll. That's how Lance Stroll got points in Canada. Both of the bloody Ferraris were disqualified. Yes. Again, you're luck into points. So you Liam Lawson, okay, so he decided that he didn't quite suit the Red Bull, but he's had a couple of genuinely decent on-the-road results. Yeah. Austria, 6. Azerbaijan, 5th. We saw that. Gasly's outdriven that Alpine where no one else can seem to score points in it.
Finishing 20th is outdriving that Alpine some weeks.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's that result. He is not the 13th best driver this year, but the results will say that he is currently 13th in the championship. So he has been the 13th best. No, Rolex, he's awful.
Don't hold back. Anyway, don't hold back. Say what you think.
We all need to go to bed at some point, and we're not even halfway through the grid. So,
yeah, moving on.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any of that Glock tonight. Where are we up next? Ferrari's going to be next. Right. So Lewis's brakes. Yep, they went pop, or at least the front left one certainly did.
You saw the puff, didn't you? As he got past Leclerc, I think he hit the brakes. You saw that the puff of sort of black brake dust, and then
and a ton of sparks.
That was, I think, a couple of corners later, wasn't there? It's oh, okay, that's a firework coming out of that brake duct.
Yeah, lost what was it, 32 seconds to Fernando on the penultimate lap.
I think it was more.
It was
40 something, wasn't it?
It was 40 something at one point. Yeah,
he was 53 seconds ahead when Leclerc overtook him, and that came down to 4/10 in the last 2 laps. I got the deleted lap times up for the race, and it's quite amusing because it's sort of everyone gets 1. Hulkenberg got 2. Probably one of them was when he was backwards down an escape road, and then Lewis clocked up 4 in 36 seconds. He cut on the penultimate lap. He cut 4 corners.
Wow.
So he basically wore his brakes down to nothing, which is not unheard of at Singapore. It's just it happened to Lewis Hamilton.
Happened to Webber, didn't it, some years ago?
Yeah, it did. Yeah. So the sparks you were seeing were the actual metal bits instead of actual brake pad. Were the metal bits that hold the brake pad in place on the disc, and that's not slowing you down.
You're not going to
stop when that happens. No, you're not slowing down. All you're doing is cutting grooves in your brake disc, and then if that explodes, you're really in trouble because you're not stopping at all. So yeah, I understand why Lewis tiptoed around. Some people saying, why didn't he just pull in and retire? Well, okay, he got 5-second penalty for all of the times he left the track. A little bit lenient, I think, because of the fact they take into account that he was cruising because of the brake issue, he still scored 4 points. So it was worth it for scoring 4 points.
Yeah. One more lap and he doesn't score any points, though, does he?
No, correct. No, exactly. Yeah. No, one more lap, he doesn't score any points. That's just the way it falls sometimes. Alonso was incensed to finish behind somebody who he believed was driving dangerously, but he ends up with 7th place in the end anyway. So, I think Alonso was, as driver of the day, was deserved. Hamilton on that stint on softs took the fastest lap of the race, and with it, the race lap record. So, and he actually said afterwards, I didn't see any pen interviews with Ferrari drivers, but he said afterwards that it was positive. The positive race. He said the end is what everybody will focus on, but the car felt good. We were actually quite competitive today. We thought everything was going quite well for us. So, it's not been a season to remember for Ferrari thus far, with only 6 races to go. But I think they are now, in comparison to where they were at the start of the season. I was going to say they've improved, but they haven't really, have they?
No, they've gone a little bit backwards.
They've not gone as far backwards as some other teams.
They're up, then they're down, then they're anonymous. Then it's the usual sort of, you don't quite know what you're going to get from them.
Which Ferrari's going to turn up this week?
Yeah. There's Leclerc was annoyed because he had to do so much lift and coast. There's a compilation on your Twitter X ElonNet of all of Leclerc's messages about lift and coast, and they start on lap 6. So they were nursing a problem for a long time with Leclerc.
Oh God!
Or they were expecting a safety car.
Yeah, and maximising that. And also, I mean, it feels like an age ago, but Friday, second practice, when Leclerc decided Lando Norris shouldn't be in the pit lane and should in fact be in the pit wall.
Yeah, that was a Ferrari team error more than Charles Leclerc's error, wasn't it? They've
Yeah, the thing is, I mean, the view's that limited when you're in the garage that you can only go on what your signals guy actually says.
Yeah, it is all the signal guy. You're right.
Yeah, and
you can tell they felt guilty because they helped McLaren push Lando back.
Yeah, that's taking responsibility immediately for it.
Yeah,
that's gonna lose you protected no claims.
I think Ted did ask Zach about it on either on Notebook or just generally while tedding around. I think there was a suggestion. Are you going to send him a bill? Are you tedding around? Are you going to send Fred a bill, or are you just going to go and steal his watch or something? Like one of Ted's suggestions.
Yeah, Zach said he's going to go and steal one of his Richard meals.
Yeah. Ted was furious about that. He saw it live in the pit lane, and it was as if he'd just seen, a horrific smash, and it was just donk. He massively overreacted to that. Secondly, I've listened to Ted's book, and I can happily recommend it. It's very good. Obviously, I've not read it. I've listened to the audiobook, but yes, can heartily recommend that.
Not angry while reading the book, then?
Not angry. He swears a lot, but he's quoting other people.
Good.
And it's just quite weird to hear like that right at the end. They talk about Russell and Verstappen and Qatar, and Verstappen saying to Russell, "I'm going to put you in the fucking wall." It's quite weird hearing Ted say the word "fucking."
Get him to read that Alonso message then.
Yeah. Ted's heard me swear.
Was that at Silverstone by chance?
Yes, because the earthing on the bloody media centre. Press centre doors is absolutely fucking terrible.
Or did you get static?
I got a massive static blast. I just nipped outside to have a smoke, and I got this massive static shock off the doors, and I just went into this huge tirade because it bloody hurt. And then I turned around and there's Ted standing there next to me. And I'm like, "You all right?" Well, been a minute.
Brilliant.
Right, where do we go next? I think it will actually be McLaren next, which we've covered quite a lot of.
Yeah.
You know, the whole papaya rules situation, elbow banging.
They didn't do anything after that first lap incident anyway.
No.
I know that Lando's slightly damaged front wing. Was it Ollie Behrman got a black and orange flag for that earlier on in the season? So what I would say is that I would like to see some consistency among the stewards, which goes back to the whole let's have a full-time steward and full-time race control. That they're all the same people every race, because I want the decisions to be consistent. That's not saying that I wanted Lando to get a black and orange flag. What I'm saying is, was it warranted with Behrman getting the black and orange flag a few races ago when Lando's just driven the entire race with the same problem?
Yeah, I did make a comment in the Discord chat that we have going during the race that just jokingly, if Lando was driving a Haas, that would be a nailed-on meatball flag.
Yeah. They do seem to get the meatball, don't they, Haas?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Magnussen a lot, wasn't it?
Yeah.
With good reason, usually.
Well,
Oh, talking of which, it looks like Grosjean will be back in IndyCar next year. They have meatball flags
really?
as well. Yeah, I can't remember which team he's apparently going to, but it looks like he will be back causing more chaos.
Oh, wow.
That'll make Sunday evenings worthwhile again. So yeah, I don't think there's anything more we can really say about McLaren, is there?
they got what they needed from the race.
Yeah, I mean,
about it.
congratulations, constructors champions.
Constructors.
Yeah,
Yeah, with 6 races to go.
yeah, and they have now pulled clear of Williams for second in the most constructors championships behind Ferrari. I think who got 28.
Oh,
28.
God, they're a long way away from that. I won't live to see that, be overtaken. I'm in my 30s and Ferrari are shit.
I was going to say, will you live to see Ferrari add to that number?
Yeah, I don't know. But my cheese intake isn't great.
Stay away from the poisonous cheese, Kieran. You'll
Yes.
be fine.
I made cheese last weekend.
No. Ferrari have 16 constructors
Oh, is it
championships.
16?
Yeah, not 28. I was like, that sounds like a lot. I'm going to check this. 16.
Still not seeing it. Still not seeing me overtake.
Okay, so they've got four. They've got four more than Mercedes.
And Mercedes currently second, are they?
Six more than McLaren. Sorry. McLaren are on 10, Williams on 9, Mercedes on 8, and Red Bull on 6. I mean, Lotus could come back and add to their 7.
They could.
Whichever Lotus it may be.
You can say the same for Renault in there, really, can't you?
Well, I mean, they've left Formula 1, so that means they'll be
They'll
coming
be
back
back.
to Formula
They'll
1.
be back.
Yeah, give it a week.
Yeah. I think Renault and Honda are trying to win the record for who can leave and rejoin Formula 1 the most, but we've already done that joke countless times. So, yeah, that will move us on to Red Bull. Max with a surprisingly bad start and a gamble that didn't pay off. Well, not a bad start, just not as good a start as George got, but the left-hand side of the grid for the even numbers just didn't had less grip, and of course it had rained pre-race.
That
Yeah,
would even
that's
it
what
out,
Lauren
though,
McKee
wouldn't it? If it took grip
Yeah.
away from the other side.
Lauren McKee said it was probably due to the rain. That's why Max didn't get as good a start as he wanted and was actually looking defensive in the first few corners rather than attacking.
Yeah, because they put him on the soft tyres to try and take advantage of getting a better start and an early safety car. And neither of them happened. But I don't think he wasn't under much threat from Lando at any point. Maybe a little bit towards the end, but I think he still had a bit more pace. But by God, was he complaining about the downshifts?
Yeah.
And I think just the rear of the car in general.
What was it? It felt like a handbrake, I think he said at one point.
Yeah, I mean, that's consistent with Red Bull, though, isn't it? Max has always said he hates the downshifts. He's been saying that probably the last 3 years, maybe 4.
But But I think this goes to show that Red Bull have got a lot of problems with the bits on the car that aren't sort of holdovers from what Adrian Newey's created, because it seems to be the technical gubbins rather than the suspension and aero and overall philosophy of the car. Max is never a fan of whatever gearbox he's got in there anyway, because it's not. Thinking about it, it's not actually a Sunday afternoon if Max isn't complaining about some form of gearing issue at some point. But he seems to have been very vocal, or that's the narrative we've had pushed at us this season. That he's got a box of broken Meccano at the back of the car.
Yeah, we know that Max fights the car and tries to get the best out of what is a slightly poor car, but there's a difference between design philosophy and poor setup, and you can tell Max is irate when he isn't happy with the setup over the poor quality of the car itself, and that's when he really struggles with those things. I was convinced that Lando would only get past Max through mechanical issue, because there are points where he was really dropping off. It turns out Max was just sort of outbraking himself in a couple of corners. I think he really struggles when the car isn't all there. That's sort of one weakness.
I mean, it definitely wasn't there this weekend. I mean, and I think Yuki proved that as well with his 12th place, and thoroughly anonymous.
Yeah, sadly so. It looked like he was going to luck into a point when Hadjar was breaking down, but then Sainz came back.
Yeah.
And he got stuck in that massive traffic queue as well, where I was all but convinced he was going to let Max through and then completely slow Lando. But he didn't. He just let them both through very sensibly.
Obviously didn't take much note of Brad Pitt's driving style. But yeah, Red Bull, I fear for them next season. Not in they're going to be dominant way, because they are struggling to build a car, and with every new regulation that's coming in, and a complete engine change to the Ford-based ones from the Honda ones, I think we could see a massive drop-off.
I think the intellectual property is still the same, isn't it? It's just that Ford are providing technical support and their name on the engine's badge. So when RBPT, whatever, is that correct? Yeah, RBPT, when they bought the intellectual property from Honda and then Honda kept supporting them, Honda are now not going to be supporting the RBPT thing, and Ford will be instead. But it's still the same engine, essentially. Although, obviously, for 26, that's going to be a completely different rule set. I don't know that... I think the Newey effect is going to come into effect more at Red Bull than it will at Aston Martin. You'll notice the absence of Adrian Newey in 2026 more than you'll notice his position at Aston Martin. Well, I think Red Bull are not necessarily in trouble, but I think they are going to find it more difficult than they think it's going to be.
We'll really notice a new effect at Aston Martin when we actually see Lance Stroll's crashing speeds. If he's hitting the wall faster, we know that Adrian's done a good job.
They have now on the outside of the Red Bull powertrain factory, they have now taken down the signs. Probably soon to be replaced by a massive sign for Ford.
The RBPT signs, or
the RBPT signs. It's on the train route between Bletchley and Milton Keynes. I noticed the other day they've taken the signs down.
Interesting.
And that leaves us with Mercedes.
Can I just state, I'm not sure it was actually interesting. But I thought I'd say it out loud.
No, it is. No, it is interesting.
It'll be interesting when the new signs go up, I think.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for me.
The season isn't finished, is it?
Yeah, it's a good point. You're right. It is
interesting because the season isn't finished. You've got 6 races left. I mean, they still, given that one of their drivers is probably the best driver on the grid at this current moment in time, it's almost certain that he's going to win a race at some point over these next remaining 6 races. When that happens, there's no RBPT signs up at the factory to go, yay, well done. It's just a bit strange.
Yeah, it is bizarre.
Unless the signs got knackered in the storm or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
the signs might have just been broken and not worth replacing.
That is.
Or engineering.
For more interesting things like that, just go to facebook.com/dullmensclub.
Yep.
Oh, that's far too exciting.
Within minutes. Submitting that.
Right then, Mercedes. George got away at the start and was never really troubled.
No,
Fantastic drive.
he pulled out a lead, didn't he, and sort of stuck with it. And a good race for Kimi Antonelli as well.
Who seemed to
A
have
good
that.
qualifying and a good race.
He seemed to have a steering issue, didn't he? They were doing some stuff with it on the grid, and then I think it was Martin Brundle pointed out in the comms he was slightly right-hand down on the straights, which will not have been fun.
Yeah, because
They asked him about this, and I think he played dumb.
Oh, okay.
somebody on the Discord chat did say that right hand down is the standard driving position in Italy.
Maybe that's just what he likes then.
I don't know if that's if you're trying to go straight or you pranked something or you're just trying to carve everyone up as often as possible. But yeah, I mean, it did look a bit worrying on the grid when they were doing more work than is normal, because you don't often see the entire nose come off a car on the grid with that many concerned looks. But I think fifth is the kind of result that Antonelli needs, because obviously there's going to be a ton of pressure on him. Look at who he's replaced. But for 19, he seems to be handling it fairly well.
For 19 and have never driven at Singapore before in any formula until this weekend. Same with Ollie Behrman. Ollie Behrman had never done that, and I don't think Gabby Bortoletto had either. So I think those three had never. And I don't know about Hajar, maybe Hajar as well. But I remember hearing from the television coverage that those three hadn't driven at Singapore before. So for Antonelli to be the top rookie and finish fifth, I think that was a good result for Kimi Antonelli, especially after the bashing he got from Jacques Villeneuve, which I thought was unnecessary. I'm pleased that he's got that result.
No,
Yeah, I agree.
Can't do anything but agree with you there. Right, rock stars and wankers. Wanker, TV director.
Yes.
Yes.
Wanker of the weekend.
Yeah.
Awful. We saw none of that Hamilton Alonso thing.
Oh my God! Someone's got to overtake someone.
Yes.
We best cut to a picture of Liam Lawson's girlfriend looking anxious in the garage. What? Why?
The director just seems to, clock out essentially the second they cross the line. He just goes, "No, that's me done. I'm off." See you later.
Hulkenberg spun. I should probably show some people in the stands. Oh no, he's getting going again. Let's show that instead.
I mean, did they get the guy from Footballers' Wives or something to direct this? Because
Possibly.
that was the last time I saw that many wags.
And also the replays, which were, I mean, they may as well have replayed the European Grand Prix from '93 at some points because it was that late.
I think there was one where they actually had to put up a graphic, didn't they, specifying what lap it was. Like, it was that long ago. It was like, oh, this is from six
'Cause even-
laps ago.
Yeah, even the TV guys were confused. Like, oh, we're watching here. No, I think that happened a while ago. Why are we seeing that now? Like, my question exactly.
And during F1 Academy, who was it that drove into the wrong pit box?
It was Alicia Palmowski.
And while she was driving into the wrong pit box and realised that she had, they cut away to something completely and utterly inconsequential, and then showed the full version of her trying to pit in the wrong pit box 2 laps bloody later.
Yeah, awful, absolutely awful. I think on one of the, I can't remember what podcast I listened to earlier, but someone mentioned it on it might be a YouTube video actually, not a podcast, where they're saying that the TV director needs to understand what's actually happening in the race. and the stories that are going on. It's not enough just to be the vision mixer going camera 2, right, get a nice tight shot of that. It needs to be a lot more focused on, okay, what's actually happening in this race? Because we saw back 10 laps before, not 10 laps, what am I saying? 2 laps before, we knew Lewis Hamilton was breaking down. And you could see on the left-hand side, the timings, that he's losing a bucket of seconds every corner. So when they cross the line, sure, McLaren have won the constructors, Russell's won the race. There is still a race taking place. The celebrations don't stop in 45 seconds. Flash to it. Because it's in it, you know it's there, you know that's happening, and everyone is at home. Crofty on the commentary is saying we're watching the wrong thing here. They need to get someone with a bit of F1 knowledge in the commentary box. In the
That was Freudian.
Oh, Crofty.
Now, was that a Freudian slip, or did you mean to say that?
I didn't mean to say that. The words came out badly.
But yeah, there was a whole what was it 1 minute 30 for the last car to cross the line.
Yeah,
So yeah,
they had time.
They had time to show things, but they don't. And
They can even do like a sort of box. They can do, can't they? Like a little
Yeah.
sort of like box in main picture situation. So they could have had the McLaren celebrations in that
yeah,
and had the on track stuff on the main.
but yeah. Any other nominations?
Fernando Alonso, Rockstar.
And Hero. Actually, no, the Mariah Carey Hero Award. If we've got Gene Simmons for the Rockstar, who's also a wanker, we need Mariah Carey for the Hero.
Sainz,
Oh, yes, definitely.
because it's not his fault that he got disqualified from qualifying.
No.
Okay,
no,
it wasn't
he-
a great qualifying, but he made it up.
Yeah.
I'd say Ollie Behrman, just for finishing higher than starting and finishing higher than 11th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That's keeping a Haas in the points is not easy.
Yeah. Wankers,
Ferrari.
Lance Stroll, just because.
You see, again, he improved upon his qualifying position,
Yeah, I
but
don't
only
think he
because they
actually
gave
did
him
anything wrong.
a wacky strategy again. They
It
didn't
wasn't
put
his
trust in
fault.
him.
Yeah.
They just didn't put trust in him, so they just went, sod it. It's wacky Lance time. The Ferrari release you from your garage guy for Leclerc.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Completely.
there was a mix up in communications with that. There was a radio message, and what the guy was doing on the pit in the pit lane were two different things.
Yeah.
So it was just a mix up of communication. He was told to let Leclerc go, and then it was too late to stop him by the time he let Leclerc go. But they were trying to stop him. It was just a mess.
Yeah. Roman Stanek. It's from Azerbaijan, but I'm still angry. For
I was
deciding
going to
that
say there was no
I was going to
F2.
say, what did Roman Stanek do?
The rejoin from hell.
I mean, yes, but yeah, okay.
immediately a couple of weeks too late, but Roman Stanek, fuck me. That was
Just-
I'm off the track. I'm just gonna shit.
I know you're angry about it, but don't go kicking any footstools.
Thankfully we didn't record that bit.
I don't remember that song. Is that like the DLC Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls?
Yeah, Roman Stanek was not at a
Go
racetrack this
kicking
weekend. He appears to
footstool.
have been climbing somewhere in the mountain with goats.
And he's still trying to rejoin the race?
Maybe.
Which reminds me, in my driving theory test last week, which I failed, by the way, I did get a question about the infamous goats on road warning sign.
Oh,
Oh no.
which does exist.
The Dune Goat Squad.
Yep. I think I got that one right. Yeah,
He's up some mountain with some goats.
Wait, what was the question?
There was a triangular sign with the word goats on it. What does it mean?
Loose goats.
It's like, warning, there are going to be goats. Do you know what? On the road with the goat sign, I've still never seen a goat.
I've never seen a goat.
I have seen one once. I complained on Facebook. I was just like, "Why have you got so many goat signs when we've never ever seen goats up there?" And then, like I think it was like the following week, I was like, "Oh yeah, there's one."
Do you think someone like released a goat because they saw your complaint?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I wouldn't put
Because they've been there for years and I'd never seen one. And then I was like, "All right, yeah, okay, I should probably shut up."
Look, there's Chris. There's Chris. Release the goats. Release the goats. Like Father Ted with the rabbits.
Yes, very much so.
We're veering into Patreon territory here, and I'm kind of aware of the time that it is while we're recording this. So I think it's probably a good time to sign off now. But if you want to hear absolute bobbins from us, then just go to patreon.com/3legs4wheels and subscribe from anything from $1, £1, €1 upwards a month, and you will get to hear things like what the hell went on when I ended up in Casualty last week, 2 weeks ago. But
not the TV series.
Not the TV series, but not what happened to me. What made the whole trip worthwhile was what happened to someone else.
Yeah, whatever you've got in your head, it's not that, and it's weirder.
If you want to get in touch, then at 3legs4wheels across all the socials. 3legs4wheels.com, the website. You can take part in the F1 Prediction League there, and I will get the results in now that we've had all the FIA documents in. And individually,
no, don't need to do that.
You had a bad one then.
Yes. Oh, do I have a good one? Is there such thing?
No, fair point. Well made. And individually on the socials, we are
At Sean Cowper.
At Flood21.
At Kieran is boring.
And at Pablo100. Right, disasters permitting, we will see you next week with a preview of all things US. And I just hope I don't injure myself in the meantime. Right, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Fading